welcome to the video. Today I have the Attacus bar bag and I'm going to be giving this a review, and I'm also going to be answering some of the most common questions about handlebar bags or bar bags, such as how much can you fit in a bar bag, how good is a bar bag, and is it worth buying a bar bag, and also how do these things attach to your bike. Now, as always, I'm going to be upfront and honest and give my feedback on what I think about handlebar bags, and in particular this Attacus bar bag. I am going to be showing you all of those things just mentioned, so stay with me, it's going to be a good one. I've added timestamps again because I don't want to waste your time, so you can literally jump to the part of the video that best suits you. Right, let's get cracking. Okay, so let's take a look at the product. There's no unboxing to do, it's a bag pretty much, so here we are. Now, from Attacus, they say that this is a durable, compact and water resistant handlebar bag. Now, I will be testing this thoroughly, so if you want to see if it stands the test of time, do subscribe. Now we can see we've got this waterproof zip, which is good. That feels proper solid as well, it feels proper strong, which I'm pretty pleased about because on a lot of these stuff, the zips are the first things to go. It's also a dual-sided zip, so that's a winner there. Now, this bag is essentially made up of, let's say, 4 components, so it says on the site. So we've got the main sort of component inside the main bag. We also have another little inner here, so this little inner can take your phone can just slot in here, for example. So you've got the main compartment, a smaller compartment there, and then you've got these 2 compartments on the side, which are essentially just like stretch material. It's worth noting as well that we have this little front strap. Now what you can do there is you can attach a light to it. Now I've used saddlebags before in the past and other rucksacks that don't have something like this, and it actually becomes a big pain trying to connect your light somewhere is visible. So I'm super pleased that they have this, and that is part of this bag. Now, it is a water repellent outer fabric, as I said, so I will be testing that. It's designed to withstand abrasion, wear and tear. So that's only one that can stand the test of time, and taking this out and seeing how it actually performs, which I will be doing. I'm going to use this on a lot of my rides, I can tell already this summer. Now, how does this connect to the bike? You've got these 2 straps, they go around the handlebars, and essentially this one here goes around your stem, essentially, or your fork steerer tube. It just kind of connects, you pull that tight, and that's got a pulley as well, so you can literally connect it. But I want to just mention quickly that these 2 straps, they do make it easy to swap between bikes. It's no hassle to just take them off and this, and then before you know it, it's on a different bike. So that's a big win. So the internal dimensions are 20 by 10 by 10. Okay, so 20 by 10 by 10. And I did have a quick measure, it's pretty much exactly that. So internal measurements are 20. I do want to say though that because of this elastic, you can fit like an inner tube in there, so it does actually extend it out. When you think about it, you get much more space. I wanted something quite compact that wasn't kind of too heavy on the handlebars, but something that would take a few more bits and bobs than a saddlebag. And just to be precise, this is 2 litres. The volume of this is 2 litres. We have 138 grams, which is pretty light. To be honest, I could lose that by eating a few less roast potatoes on a Sunday. Now, let's have a look at the water resistance, because I'm always a bit skeptical when they say water resistance, and I'm going to have my phone in here, so I want to make sure that it is water resistant. So there's only one way to do that. I told you not to record yet. Okay, so what we're going to do now to test the waterproofing is a nice scientific test. We have got newspaper in here, and we've also got some tissue, and I'm going to zip it up and I'm going to put it under the tap. Now, it is water resistant, and I know a lot of things say they are water resistant, and normally it means that water kind of beads up on the sort of item and then just sort of runs off. So hopefully it does it on this. Now, I mean, that's not bad, to be fair. It's running off it. Act like it's raining. On the underneath as well, because obviously stuff's going to get flicked up from the wheel, the front wheel. Right, that's actually not a bad job, to be honest. Let's see if it actually got in. Okay, so a little bit went in by the zip, but that could have just been where I undone it just then. But that is not actually that bad, all things considered. let's go for it. I mean, I'll be surprised now if it is not wet in there. Again, a little bit in the zip, but it's actually dry. That's pretty impressive, that. I'm impressed. Everything is pretty much dry. Right, let's go again. I mean, that's a torrential downpour, that. That's a disaster if it's getting that wet. Right. If this isn't wet inside, then I'm thoroughly impressed, Attacus. Considering my phone is going to be here, let's have a look. Okay, so again, along the zip is actually wet, so I'm going to throw it out there and say the waterproof zip might not be 100% waterproof, but come on, that's like a full-on stream of water. Everything else, dry. A little bit damp actually. Oh, we've got wet in there. Okay, so it did come in, but there's not much in there, not much to report. So considering that was basically under the tap for about 10 seconds, that gets a thumbs up from me. That's definitely water resistant. So I guess one of the most common questions is, how much can you fit in a handlebar bag? What can you get in there? And there is only one way to find out, and that is to try and shove loads of stuff in there. Now, I think these side pockets are good for inner tubes, because inner tubes are going to take up a lot of space inside. So what I'm actually going to do is put an inner tube in each side pocket. And just the material of the inner tube as well, they're kind of grippy by nature, so that fits in there quite well, and it kind of grips, so it's going to stay in there, it's not going to bounce out, which is what I would want from something in these side pockets. Multi-tool, it's going to go in there. I'm going to put in this little cloth. Now, I record a lot on my rides obviously, so something like this is really helpful just to wipe the lenses down. This is a bit excessive, but I got this out just for this test. So a little cloth. I'm going to put in there as well 3 food bars, so let's chuck that in there. I also want to put my phone in there as well. I'm just going to put that in that front pocket, so again that just slides into the front, and that kind of keeps it separate, which is nice as well. So that's out of the way. Next up, we need some tyre levers. If we're going to be changing and putting one of these inner tubes in, we need some levers to get it off. I'm also going to put this in there. This is GoPro spares, so let's whack that in there as well. And how are we doing so far? It's got this little grip here as well, which is actually handy when you're pulling the zip across. You can grip that. It's just a little thought in there. We like those little thoughts. That's all right, we can get more in there. So let's put some bike lights in there as well, in case it gets a little bit dark. Obviously you'd probably just put these on your bike, but for the sake of this video, they're going in. Let's put the wallet in there, that can go in. Let's put my keys in there. How are we doing? Getting a little bit tight, but this feels very strong. This zip feels very strong, as I said earlier, so I don't mind putting a bit of force through it. Still think we're all right, you know. Do you know what? This schnood might tip it over the edge. Let's try and get that in there as well. Schnood. And there we go. We're all right still. Do you know what? I think we could get more in the sides here as well, but I'm not going to push it. So you can see there just how much you can actually fit in this little bag because of its practical shape, as I said earlier. So there you go, peeps. That's how much you can fit in a 2 litre bar bag. Okay, so 3 quick points using this bag. Number 1, if you don't have routed cables through your frame, there is a chance that your cables could get in the way. That's not this bag, that's just going to be any handlebar bag, but it is noticeable on here where I have cables, it's a little bit tight. 2, I have these levers on my bars as well, and when you've got these levers, it makes it a little bit tight, but it also makes it a little bit more secure. Because the levers are there, they kind of pad against it, and that makes it okay. Number 3, if you don't have the bag full, this isn't just the Attacus bag, this will be any bag. Obviously it's going to rattle around whatever's inside, and that's just really noticeable because it's right in front of you. You can hear it, you can kind of feel it as well. So when using this bag, you want to fill it up and you kind of pad it out, in my opinion. But that goes for any bag, not just this one. So the big question is it worth buying a bar bag? I would say yes, for a couple of reasons. Now, one of the main reasons is the shape. I like the shape. It's so much easier to pack. When you compare this to a saddlebag, for example, of the similar size, like a 2-litre saddlebag, it's quite hard to pack by the nature of its shape. It's an angle. When you have something like this, which is a rectangle, it's easier to pack. When it's easier to pack, you can actually get more into it. These side pockets as well are also really handy. It allows you to put, say, inner tubes in here, which usually take up a lot of space in, say, a saddlebag. Secondly, it's super accessible. Now, when this is on the front of your bag, you can simply just undo this zip, grab something out, which means you can get food out, you can get things easily, you can get your phone out. Now, when you're stopping, like myself, and recording, or do you want to get your phone out, take a pic, it's just much easier. I like having it in there. It's just nicer to have it on the front of the bike. I don't know, I wouldn't have thought it would matter, and I wouldn't have actually had it as a selling point, but it actually does make a big difference. Thirdly, it frees up your jacket pockets. Now, I normally stuff loads of stuff in my jacket pockets. I've got all my food, I've got stuff for the GoPro, phone, keys, wallet, all of those things. So all of a sudden, they are completely free, and it's quite nice just to have nothing on your back, or just a couple of key items that you want to keep in there. It just gives you like separation between what you're taking on your rides. Now, this will come into play a lot more if you're going on longer rides and you're taking more food with you. For example, a 100-mile ride, I'll be taking quite a few bars with me, maybe 4 or 5 or 6. That's where this is going to come in big handy. So I like the fact your jersey is free and you don't have to worry about cramping everything in there. It can also be swapped between bikes in an instant because it is very simple to attach. It's also very secure. So on my gravel rides, quickly swap it over to my road bike if I'm going out on the road. So that's a big win as well. Hopefully this video helped answer the question, is it worth buying a bar bag? In my opinion, yes, it is. Now, I will be using this bag on many rides in the future, so do subscribe to the channel if you want to see me take this out on the road or on the gravel. That would be much appreciated. Any questions, do leave a comment down below. And as always, if you like this video, big thumbs up. Be much appreciated. So until the next one, fine people, self-love and safe riding.